didn't hide the truth about the 2024 election. They buried it in the fine print. And if you only watched the headlines, you missed the one detail that actually explains why you felt so confused. By the end of this, you'll know what that detail is, where it shows up, and how to spot it the next time any election story tries to steer your emotions. I'm not a politician and I'm not trying to sell you a side. I'm the kind of person who reads the claims, checks what's actually being cited, and then asks, wait, what are we not being shown? This is for you if you felt like 2024 was constantly changing, like every day brought a new narrative, and like no one could agree on what was true. In about 4 minutes, I'll walk you through 3 moments where the story people told you got quietly edited, plus the simple method I use to keep myself from being played. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most election arguments don't fail because the facts are fake. They fail because the context is trimmed. I remember seeing a clip shared 1,000 times, same talking points, same dramatic captions. The claim sounded obvious. But when I looked at the original source, the quote was either 1. From a different time period, 2. About a different location or process, or 3. Missing the condition that made it true. And that's the trick. You don't need to lie if you can selectively remove the if and unless. You just need to make the rest feel self-evident. The question you should be asking isn't, is this quote real? It's, what did they cut off right before and right after this? And that leads to the second piece, because context alone doesn't explain everything people felt. Most people don't lose arguments because they're uninformed. They lose because they're using different definitions. Here's where the 2024 election conversations got messy. A lot of numbers were presented like they meant the same thing across every channel. But they didn't. Different groups were tracking, different stages of counting, different categories of ballots, different dates for reporting, and sometimes different ways of handling late arriving or contested items. So the truth became a moving target, even when the underlying events were consistent. If 2 people are watching 2 different clocks and both swear they're watching the same time, you get chaos. Quick test you can do: when you hear a number, ask, what exactly does this include? And what does it exclude? If the source can't answer that clearly, you're not looking at truth, you're looking at persuasion. And once you notice definitions, there's one more layer people consistently miss: the incentives. This is the part nobody wants to admit. The loudest truth often changes because the incentive to go viral changes. If a channel gets attention for outrage, they'll keep pushing the most emotionally satisfying explanation, even if it updates tomorrow. If a politician gets headlines for momentum, they'll frame uncertainty as proof. If a platform or commentator is trying to be first, they'll treat early incomplete information like it's final. None of this requires a conspiracy. It's just human behavior with microphones. So the real question isn't who's lying. It's, what outcome does this person get if I believe them right now? Alright, let's lock this in with a simple method you can use immediately. 1. Find the original claim source. 2. Check what was cut off. 3. Verify the definition behind any number. 4. Ask what the speaker benefits from you believing today. If you want, drop your biggest challenge with political news in the comments, like I can't tell which sources are trustworthy or I get overwhelmed by updates. And if this helped you slow down the noise, hit like and subscribe, because I'll keep breaking down the patterns that make election coverage feel like a maze. Thanks for hanging in there. If you're curious